All right, everybody, how we doing? It's been a little bit since I made a video. I apologize, it's pajama day at school, so excuse my outfit. But I want to go over really quickly the rules for multiplying and dividing integers. That's what we're going to be talking about in class for the next little bit of time, so I just want to be sure we're all on the same page about it. To start, before we even get to any numbers, I tell this to the kids all the time, that I really don't like teaching just blanket rules to follow, because it really relies on memorizing them perfectly and knowing when to use them, and it can get very complicated, and then it can be tough to organize when we should use what and how to use it, and I think it sort of sets us up for failure if that's the only thing that we're learning. But that aside, this unit in particular, multiplying and dividing integers, there are some really, really strong rules for how we solve these. And I think at the end of the day, the modeling version of this is really complex. So it's just easier, and I think better for everyone to just more focus on memorizing these rules. So that's what we're going to do right away. I have them up here on the board, and all the students have written them in their journals, so they should have them written down. Whether we're doing multiplication or division, these rules are the same. So if the signs match, say if we have positive and positive or negative and negative, the answer is always positive, whether we're multiplying or we're dividing. If they match, it's a positive answer. Now the flip side goes, if they don't match, if we have one positive and one negative, and we either multiply them or divide them, the answer is always going to be negative. Blanket across, it always works. Another thing that I say constantly in class is a little, quiz off the bat. Do they work for multiplication and division? Yes. Do they work for addition and subtraction? No. So we can't put these rules onto addition and subtraction. We have to use the number line like we've already learned how. So let me make sure you guys can actually see these. Let's go over two problems real quick. So we'll look at these rules just to be sure that we know what the answer is going to be. Our first step in anything like this is to look at the problem as if they were both positives. So instead of looking at it as -3, I'm going to think about it as 3 times 2, which we know is 6. So our answer is either going to be positive or -6, and we just need to decide which one it is. I have one negative, I have one positive. I ask myself, do they match? They don't. So that is going to be a negative answer. The signs don't match, it's going to be negative. Same thing on this one. We think about it in positives first. So positive 10 divided by positive 5, we know is going to equal 2. So our answer is either going to be positive or -2. I look to see what the signs are. We have one negative, we have another negative. Do they match? Yes, they are the same. So the answer is positive. And that's really all there is to it on these. I even think most likely this week we'll be moving on to fractions and decimals, which is our next unit, because the kids seem to have a really strong hold on this. So here's the info. If it comes up and you need it, hopefully it's helpful. But if something big comes up, you should always feel free to email me or let me know.